everybody. Beautiful to see you here. And let me first of all welcome you to the gorgeous Gail Bennell. So hi, Gail.
Hi, guys.
That's good. So I've asked Gail to come along today because I find one of the best ways to be able to demonstrate how does a particular exercise work really well is to actually just hot seat and to demonstrate it with somebody. So Gail and I have done no preparation on this. It's not as if we've worked out beforehand everything we're going to say and what the activities are. It was really a matter of me sending Gail a message about an hour or so ago going, "Oi, you want a free hot seat?" And to tell you the truth, that is me in my happy place, because I am really happy when I am put in the situation where, you know what, just put me on the spot and let me see what I can do and what I can help you with. So that's my happy place. So before we start on the hot seat, what I will do is go and I'm going to show you a little bit of a brief teaching on the exercise that I'm going to be working with Gail on. Now, if you haven't joined us in the free workshop that I've got happening at the moment, the Attract Your Tribe workshop, number one is why not? So if you haven't, you go to romanceyourtribe.com/AYT workshop, which stands for Attract Your Tribe workshop. I'll put the links down in here when we've finished. But in lesson number 2, I teach you about how to get super, super duper clear on who is the absolute dream client, because what is really easy to do is to think you're targeting the ideal client and they look really, really similar to a group of people that could all be your ideal client. But there's usually going to be one that is the most profitable, and that's what you want to make sure that you put all of your marketing and your program packages for. And there's usually going to be one that looks really, really good, but if you target them, you're going to go broke. And it's broken in a slow, painful way that you don't, one of those things by cut by 1,000, bleeding to death by 1,000 cuts, or whatever the cliche is. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So Gail, you've done the Profitable Avatar exercise on your existing business, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. And we've actually done a workshop together on it as
and
well,
it's,
so you're really familiar.
Really helpful. Yeah, I know the concepts, and it's something that I come back to every time I re-strategize where I'm going, or think when I've leveled up to do 7 other audience, which is exactly where I am right now.
Yeah.
This is just really good time to get clear and get your support to guide me through it on exactly where I should be focusing on my messaging and my marketing and my support to get the best results for my clients.
Yeah, and that's actually the reason why I invited you, Gail, because I knew that, excitingly, when you'd started, when I first met you and when we first started, you were doing my Shine program and other programs, and you were an employee, weren't you? Which was, and so over that time,
yeah.
So what's with that current business now, just so people have got an idea of your progress in just a couple of years. So what is that business doing now, and why are you looking at this other business?
So I started my business offerings helping parents who had children that have disabilities and can't speak for some reason. And then transitioned to working face-to-face with parents and clients who can't communicate because of a disability. And I even moved interstate and moved the whole business interstate, which helped me develop some more online one-to-one sort of appointments with people. So I really sort of focused in on that. But over the years, I've become a bit of a go-to person for NDIS transitioning stuff, which is the National Disability Insurance Scheme that's helping people with disabilities, and all of the private practitioners that have started their own business because of that, and So there's all these amazing opportunities with the shift in the environment, the operating environment we're in. And people just keep coming to me and asking for help constantly about what they should be doing in their business to prepare for the NDIS. And they were also coming to me for advice about helping people communicate who don't have spoken words. So I've kind of got these two markets that really want my help and keep asking me for help. So that's probably the first place to start is, which one should I focus on first?
Yeah, and that's a really, this is a problem that a lot of people will end up having. Like quite often when you're first starting out in a business, you don't realize how many opportunities there are out there for you. And so when you started your business, you were an employee, you started going part-time, you went full-time, and then now that one is booked out. So you can, it can't grow you any further. You can keep on going in there, but then you've got to change things in order to grow it. And that's okay. You could keep on going down that track. But the thing is once you start getting a track record, once you start getting results, that's when you see that there are all these opportunities out there. And you have to be really strategic about which of those opportunities you take, because quite often when you first start out, you'll go, oh my God, there's an opportunity, I'm going for it, because you may not have that many opportunities. But once you start building up a track record like you have, there are more opportunities than you can possibly take. And so that's number one lesson, is just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to. Yeah. So, and this is a really, really tough one, because, you can see, and once you get to your level where you've been taking a lot of action, you've just, learnt so much, been such an action taker in a beautiful, methodical way, actually. And so you know that, you know what you've got to do. So you can apply those processes to any of those businesses and they will work. But making that choice. So, that's a big thing for us to be able to do on this call. But what we'll do in here is we're going to work through the exercise on one of those. But what you would really want to do is, number one, is look at putting this exercise to both of those opportunities. And then also thinking about really strategically, okay, where's the next level go once I've met this initial need for this particular market? Like, how can I then expand my business to either make me go out of it? So can I train up mini-me's, and will there be enough demand for mini-me's? Or is this something that will be meeting a need of a set number of people, but not necessarily something that's scalable? So just with that particular question, before we dive into the exercise, for you, Gail, you've got the one side where you've actually got practitioners who are also speech pathologists who are looking at specialising, really getting the skills that you get results within your clients, which is why you've done so well, one of the reasons. So there's them. Or the other side is people who could be speech pathologists, but they could also be in any health field, who are going, I want to do what you did. I'll have what she's having. Like, I'll have the waiting list, thanks. Out of those two, which ones can you see, just on that scenario of, can I scale it up? Or am I going to be meeting an initial need to start with? With either of those, can you see, what's your initial reaction to that?
Yeah, they've both got the potential to scale up, hell out of me, and one feels really easy. And I don't know if I should take the path of least resistance or jump into the deep end.
Right. There we go. So we're looking for the scarecited. So which is the one of least resistance?
Having other PTs clinicians get the practical experience to serve more of their clients in a particular area. The scary one is helping business owners grow their business, because I feel like I still feel like I'm just learning, even though we're doing it for years.
Yeah. That's really interesting. So, both of those could possibly work, but you can't do both at once. So you'll have to make that choice. And so with both of those comes, if you go down one path, it's not just, all right, I'll do this and I'll do the other one later. There is also opportunity cost. that comes with that. And so, you know, and then so there's making that decision will be more than we can do on this call, but there's certainly things that you need to be looking at, like which is the one that, number one, is, you know, that you can do easily, that there is definitely a market. Is it easy for you to get them? And then the other sides of it that come is, does it feed your soul? Does it give you joy? Because you already have an existing business. So it's not as if you're going, right, I've got to do this because that's going to get me so I can quit my job, you know, or something like that. It's so now you're in the fortunate position where you're going, well, you know what, if I'm going to go into it the next step, which is not just me working, you know, me to clients, which is going to go me to practitioners, which is the way that for me feeds my soul. So for the moment, you know, because you're at that position now, you don't have to go down this path.
We'll do the business one today because I already have a program serving them, so I can
excellent
at getting that out to them so that the right people can get the information they need to.
Yeah. And I can tell you here and now, when it comes to being a larger market to be able to serve, and a market where people can see the benefits, so they're more likely to spend the money, is going to a market. The second market, which is helping them to be able to grow their businesses, will be the one that's probably going to have a larger market, and they will probably be easier to invest in higher price programs. Whereas it can be very difficult to get somebody who's going to invest in what will end up being a skill or a qualification in a way. Harder to get them to invest, you know, thousands or tens of thousands of dollars as an individual. So the other one does have that potential to be able to make a good business grow faster. So let's have a look at that one. And so one thing that I'm just wanted something that Gail said that I know that if I'm looking down, it's because I'm just looking here for comments on my phone. One thing that Gail said is about, you know, it's scary because I haven't been doing it for long enough or whatever, is I can tell you, Gail, that your results speak for you. So if you stick with, this is what I have done, and I'm teaching what I have done, and sure, there's other really, really clever things out there that you can be doing, but you know what? I'm teaching you what worked for me, and it worked. That has integrity. And you can remind yourself, you know what, man, I got those results, you know? So that's a really nice way, if you ever feel yourself being intimidated by, there are so many other people who know all this stuff and there's so much I don't know, remind yourself of that, because I already know. You will totally rock this space. Now, let's go, and I'm going to share my screen first just to do a quick teaching so people know where we're up to. And this is the one that I want. Okay, so hopefully you can see my slides here. So what we've got here is the Profitable Avatar exercise. And just in short, what we're doing, this is a unique exercise that I've developed over years, and it works. And it's so much easier if you've got somebody like me that's done so many of them, because we can nail this. And you can definitely do it yourself. It's one of those things I teach you how to do. Gail's done it numerous times for herself, but it really helps having somebody else there that's going to be doing it with you. So what we want to do is we're going to be looking at two variables. Now, I teach this in detail in the lessons in the Attract Your Tribe program. In lesson number 2, I go in detail exactly how you need to do this. So this is just a quick summary. We're going to look for these two variables, and the important thing is these are variables that from one point to another is part of the transitional journey that your client goes on. And so we're looking at two. Very often one of these will be an external thing like actions, proof of results perhaps, and another one will very often be an internal thing. That is got to do with them either education or changing their mindset. Not always, but that's a good way for you to remember to be able to work these out. And then we're going to have a look here at 4 potential avatars, and they fit on this graph. Now, what we'll do is I'll stop sharing and I'll go back to Gail, because we're going to first of all work out what is the transitional journey she takes people on, and we're going to work out these two variables. Then we will come back to this graph and we will plug them in. So stopping the share, back to Gail, baby. All right. Did I just call you Claire?
No.
No, I just had this awful feeling that I called you Claire. It's all right. All right, Gail. So the transitional journey that you take your clients on. So when they start at point A to point B, if you've got them at point A, where are they starting and where are they aspiring and going to, but that you help them with?
So they're starting feeling really overwhelmed, and they're working probably at some stage in business, so maybe just starting out working for themselves, or they've been doing it for a little bit, but this is species and allied health professionals are not taught business skills. We're taught how to be amazing clinicians.
Right. Okay.
So skills is just something that feels so foreign as well. So an end stage is that they are not feeling overwhelmed. They're not working nights and weekends trying to do the business stuff while making money, doing the clinical stuff and serving clients. They're kind of getting their life back.
Right.
And they're not feeling so stressed.
That's really good, because I think what I can see here is we have two potential paths here.
Okay.
Because one of the things is going to be their results. So if you've got somebody that they're coming to you and they could have no clients, or they might only just have a few, or they could be like when you started out, that you're an employee and you're going, how do I actually start building my own business? Where on earth am I going to get my first clients from? So it could be that and this is when I was talking about an internal and an external. So their external might be, I've got no clients, and at the end of the result is, you know what? I've got a full, would they call it a booking or a calendar or booked out? What would be the terminology?
Caseload.
Caseload. They've got a full caseload of clients in their business. So that could be what they could see as like an external outcome. But then the other side that we have of that is their skills to be able to manage that business in a way that is calm, I guess. So a way to be able to grow that business that is not burning out, that they're in control. So if we have a play with that, because the thing I find with doing this exercise is we want to play with a couple of variables, because sometimes we'll do the first variables and we'll try it out and we'll go, yeah, it's not quite right. Then we'll play around. Quite often I can nail it in the first go. But let's go and have a look and see what that would look like if we use those two variables. We haven't actually quite worked out the wording on that sort of more tangential, but it's really going to do with their knowledge and their skills to be able, on how to run a business simply or simplified, for themselves, energy. So let's just go. I'm going to share my screen because this really helps with the visual now. Where are we? Where is my slide? Okay, here it is. All right. So if we have a look down here, let's put down on the bottom one that this is their, their caseload. How successful is their business, basically? So it's not just going to do with caseload, but it's also to do with profitable caseload, because they could very well be really flat out, but they're charging, they've got everybody on Medicare or whatever it is. They're not charging what they're worth. So this is a profitable business. So at the top, it's a profitable business, and down the end, at the very beginning, it may be no money. So it can be a real danger to go on in number of clients you've got, but let's make it so that they're the amount of money that they're making. We'll have a look at that. So if we put that down the bottom, so the people who are right on the left, they're not making any money yet. And the people up the right, they're full, they're bringing in the money. They really can't have any more clients that are coming through there. Now, if we have a look over here on the top one, let's do that to do with their, their processes in their business that allow their businesses to run efficiently and effectively. So they have a life. So down the bottom here, they really don't know much at all. And the people who are up at the top, they've got some really, really good processes. So let's have a look and we'll plug those in. So if we have number 1, this is probably your newbie. They don't have any clients yet and they don't have any processes and they probably don't know where to start. So that's number 1. Number 2, now this is an interesting one. This is your burnouts, I would say. So these could be the people who are really, they've got a lot of clients. They could be really, really busy and really full. But these are the ones when you were describing, Gail, that they're burning out, they're working the weekends. Is that a lot of the people who you find that you work with?
Yeah, they're doing nights and their family just wants them back, really.
Right.
Between seeing their kids and keeping up with the business.
Yeah. Excellent. So that's those ones there. Now let's have a look at the other 2. Number 3 is an interesting one because they might know it all. Like they might have a lot of processes and they've learnt all of that sort of stuff, but something's holding them back. Maybe their business hasn't started. They may have only just started, so they need help to get going. Or maybe they know all this stuff, but they haven't got the confidence.
There's a lot of people that spend a lot of time investing in setting up the business, getting everything right and perfect and everything, all the ducks aligned so that, the business is ready for when but no, not spending the time attracting clients.
Yeah, right. So, and I tell you what, that is the perfect procrastination, isn't it? That, I've just got to get my procedure manual perfect and then I'll go and do the marketing because, I won't be able to cope with all the clients coming in, like if only. So, that's definitely one set. So they're really going to be needing a lot of help, probably with mindset stuff here, to actually get them happening. Number 4. Now, these are people that are really busy and they've got the systems in place. Now, sometimes number 4, you could go, well, these are people who've got it all together. What do they need me for? But these could also be people that they're now wanting to move themselves out of the business. They might be wanting to bring on partners. They might be wanting to expand. And so they're going to need some help because as you go to a next expansion level, very often what will happen is you'll drop back into some kind of chaos because that main person might have to go flat out training other people or picking up.
A lot of people that really struggle with their business is really busy, but they're still in it seeing clients and they're taking on staff as well, but they don't really have the time to support the staff as well as they could.
Right.
The supervision that they know they need to do because they can't really afford for themselves to step out of the business to work on, things that are a bit more passive or just to support their team.
That's excellent. So with that, Gail, so the next question I want to ask you is, with those 2 things, do you have your own, you've got your own experience and you can work with people that can help them on both of those paths? Like, can you help them to systemize their businesses and with their marketing, and can you also help them to systematically increase the number of people that are coming through?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you can. I've been watching you. You know this. Yeah, absolutely. Nail it. So that's the number 1 thing, because quite often people will put as one of their variables about money. So we've kind of got that on that bottom one, about them, bringing in the money they've got paying clients. But sometimes people will put that down there, but there's actually nothing that you can do that's going to help people to increase their income.
Yeah.
So it's not a variable that you should have. So I know for you do, but for people who are watching, if you're doing something, say, to do with health, and it might be to do with, like your original clients that have got to do with speech, non-verbal, which I notice whenever you say non-verbal, you go non-verbal.
I know, that's fine.
Yeah, but you've got the non-verbals. You're not helping those non-verbal people make money, so you wouldn't have that as a variable. Yeah. So non-verbal, no, you're not making the money.
No moolah.
Right. So that's number one. You can absolutely help them. Now, the next question I've got for you is, do you think that there is anybody that's, when we've talked about these, is there a group that you are aware of that hasn't fitted in there, that's being ignored?
No, I think that covers everyone.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. So that means that those two variables make good sense. Now what we want to do is, and this is where it comes into the next part. It's never going to be, okay, number 4 is always the most profitable, number 1's a dud, whatever. This is where it comes in for your experience, because we're not just looking at their ability to pay. We're looking at how motivated are people to actually get this happening. Where is their pain point? And so now let's look at 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we'll do this quickly. So number 1, they've got no idea where to start, and they haven't got a business yet. They're not making any money. They might have only just decided they're going to go out live, or they might still be an employee thinking, I want to escape. Those particular people, what do you think in terms of them, with the experience that you've had and the connections with them? How motivated are they to invest the money and the time for your help?
I feel like they are really looking for free advice. They're the ones that are on Facebook asking questions in groups, and because they haven't got the business yet, and they haven't really got the money, or they can't see how the money can help them.
Yeah, that's
the
really good insight. Really good
honest, health professionals are real DIYers.
Yeah.
That's our job, is to problem solve and come up with solutions.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that's really good insights, because a lot of times people will go, oh, well, they're the lowest. They need to have the greatest, I can help them the most, because you can help them a lot. But if they're not going to be motivated, if they're already at that beginning and they're really reticent to spend the money, it's not a good one for you to focus. You'll still attract them, but if you make all of your marketing at them, you're going to have to do a lot of convincing them of, you're going to make this money. It may take you a year or 2 to make that amount of money or whatever. It's hard for people. They want something now. So that's a good insight. All right, there's number 2. Now, when I talked about those, it sounds as though you've been attracting a few people at the number 2.
Yeah, they've tried DIYing it, and they've ended up in complete overwhelm, and they're losing their family time. And sometimes they're not even making enough money.
Right.
So they're working really hard, really long hours, and they're not actually making more than they would in a job.
Yeah. Excellent. Oh, look, I can just feel their pain. I just go, oh, I know exactly. I work with so many people like that, and it just breaks your heart. It really, really does. So for them, it sounds like they've got a pretty strong motivation, because they're also getting motivation from their family, aren't they?
Yeah.
To do that. Are you think that they're motivated to spend the time as well as the money?
Yes and no. Sometimes it's really hard for them to see how to make the time.
Right.
Because
so that may be, for this crowd, it's an important part that you're going to demonstrate to them at the beginning, how we're going to get you some time now.
Yeah.
Really quickly. What can we do right now that's going to free up half a day, a week or something? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So number 3, these are the people that, the procrastinators.
They are, I think there's possibly 2 groups. One group is still stuck in their, if I just get it perfect, and then the clients will just come.
Yeah.
But then there's the other group that's actually spent so long getting it perfect that they've realised that ain't working.
Right. So do you feel, from your experience, do you think that they have a strong motivation?
Not as strong as number 2, no.
Okay, cool. And number 4, so these are the people that are expanding their business and they're burning out. The principal person's burning out. And their staff are probably ready to knee. How motivated do you think they are?
Really motivated. They've invested a lot of time into building their business to where it is, getting their, attracting the right clients, and, they really love helping people.
Right.
but they're at the point where they're not sure they can keep doing it.
Right, because they're burnout. So for me, listening to what you've said, it looks like number 1 and number 3, even though you know that you can help them a lot, it's not they're not as motivated. There's going to be some resistance. So you'll still attract them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if your market, so out of 2 and 4, it looks as if those are the 2 that are going to be more willing to spend the time and probably spend more money if it means that they get some of that stuff done for them.
Yeah.
And done with them rather than doing a step-by-step course on how to do something.
Yeah.
So, and the interesting part with this, because both of those fall on that right-hand side, the messages and also the programs that you'll be giving them, the help you'll be giving them, is not so much on how to get more clients.
No, they've got too many clients.
Yeah. So if we were going to be marketing to number 1 and 3, our core message is going to be about get new clients, attract new clients, how to consistently get clients, how to convert, how to do the sales calls, all of that sort of stuff. But really what you're doing here is how to not burn out, how to get the systems in place, especially around your marketing and especially around all the, the NDIS stuff, so that you can get, you can spend time with your family. You don't have to spend your weekends. Your staff are actually going to love you rather than, being a mutiny. See how they're very different messages, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And deliver quality services that you're known for.
Yeah.
You'll fear that the standard's slipping because they're slipping.
Yeah.
Themselves that, what if I lose my business because I start doing a bad job?
Yeah, absolutely. Which would just be, that's a huge fear. I mean, that's what's number 3 up there is afraid of. I don't want any clients subconsciously. So having looked at this and having a look at that journey and looking at those ones that are motivated, that's going to be your key thing. And you know what's a really interesting thing, Gail? With people that I have found is the people who are in number 4 and 2 who've got the clients already, but they're burning out. They need the systems. They need how to leverage themselves. All of that sort of stuff. They are the people who actually usually prefer to have a high-end program.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you were targeting number 1, you would probably be going for a lower price program and you would be going to get a larger number of people.
Yep.
Going for especially number 4, but then also number 2, you may only need to start off with having just a handful of clients who you will be charging a much higher amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you'll get a $10,000 client rather than a $500 client. But it is now that the thing that you'll be marketing to them with and providing them with is going to be around all of that, getting a life, getting the systems, making it so that, they actually get to, not burn out and they won't give up. Once you go in there with those messages, then it's going to be, oh, for heaven's sake, just come in, Gail, and help me. I'm exhausted. And then they will also understand the difference that it will make to them financially.
Yeah.
They might go, all right, here's a $10,000 or a $15,000 program, or because they're not going to be probably enough to have like a VIP day. They're going to be, I want to have you as my consultant here month after month after month, working with me and my team.
Yeah.
That's been my experience with people at that level is, or I want to be part of a higher level mastermind where I get to go with other people who are going through the same thing and we can get to make it go faster. It's actually easier to sell into a higher price program than it is to sell into a lower price program with people like that.
Good tips.
Yeah. And it's going to help them. You're going to help them more than trying to play down small of, well, maybe like I'll just, it'll only cost you this much money or whatever, or I'll give you this smaller service. They will be so grateful if they know that you can come in and just really solve this problem for them because they're in pain.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Janet.
You're very welcome. And thank you so much for being so open. For people who are watching this, as you can tell, Gail she cares, about her clients. She really, really does care about her clients. So if you are a 4, if when we were talking about number 4 and number 2 here, if you were going, oh my God, that is me, just give a hell yeah down below and contact Gail. So how can people contact you, Gail?
That's a great question. My email address, and this is like, my business is in constant flux. My email address is still my business from 2 businesses ago, because I haven't been able to update it. So Gail, Gail, at raisingnonverbalchildren, which is all one word, .com.
Yeah. Great. We'll put that down below in the comments anyway. And the thing is, with this kind of thing, you can even just go under your name, with that sort of consultancy. If you're going to start it off starting with, let's just have a few clients that I absolutely get amazing results with, working with them closely. And then from that, now we'll go and we'll create some systematic material that I can then on-sell to other people as packages. So instead of creating the systems and the smaller packages and then upgrading to higher price clients, you start at the top consulting with them, creating material as you're working with them, and then you can package it together to be able to help more people at a lower price.
Fantastic. Great advice.
It's kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? We quite often go, I will charge more as I get more confident, but it's actually the other way around. I'll work closely with you. I know I can get results with you working closely.
Fantastic. Thank you, Janet. I have to get going.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Go get them, girl. Bye. Okay, everybody that's still here, and I imagine that most people will be watching this on the replay. So I hope that gave you some insights in how to use that really powerful exercise, because as you can see, we could have gone either way with Gail's, targeting that message of I can help you get new clients, because that's what she did. She went from having no clients to, getting completely booked out a full caseload in quite a quick time. And that was moving interstate, within Gail's story, like moving interstate within 2 weeks, because she'd built up the reputation, applying all the stuff that she'd been doing in the precursor to the Attract Your Tribe program. Within 2 weeks, she was completely booked out in that new town, in that new state. So she knows how to get the new clients, but she's also got all of those systems behind it to be able to do that seamlessly. Enough that she's thinking, all right, well, I've done all of that, and I've got all those clients. Let me build up the next business. I've got the time and the energy. So she could go either way. But as we've worked out, the people who are going to be most motivated are those ones who have already got the clients and they're burning out. And she's got really good systems that I know from behind the scenes with Gail, she's got really good systems to be able to work with those clients really, really efficiently. So, so I'd love to hear from you. Leave those comments down below. Any questions that you've got. The free training that I've got is only open for about another 10 days, I think it is. Yeah, another 10 days. And then it will be going. So if you would like to go into and have some good training there on how to use this exercise and how to apply it to your business, you can go over there to the Attract Your Tribe workshop. I'll put the links down below. And and I'd love to hear from you. So I hope this has been really helpful. Okay, bye.